Welcome to Dawg Face and Cuffy Gatling Get Exposed Part 2. Part 2. You guys, if you did not see Part 1, I will make sure to put a link to that somewhere, probably up here, somewhere. Yeah, up in there somewhere. And if you didn't see Part 1, make sure you go back and watch that after you finish this, or go watch that and then come back and finish this. You guys, we're going to finish up the video from the Real Black Conscious Forum podcast. Man, he's got to shorten that. But we're here to finish off that video. And this video is actually number 5 in a series that they have going on. So if you guys are interested in this and you want to go and dig even deeper into this, make sure you go over to his channel, subscribe, and watch those other 4 videos. There's 4 other videos so far, okay? This is just the latest one in this series that they're doing. So I ain't gonna hold y'all very much longer. You guys, look, trucker hat, burbankclothing.com. Let's go to get his content.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, look. Look, man. You know, I listened to Dollar Bill, right? And I'm gonna go back. I gotta go back to this. I listened to the guy, right? And again, if I put all his interviews together that he put online, I would say he got 70, 75 minutes, maybe a little bit more content of his interviews with him talking, right? Again, the thing that he's very consistent about is that he doesn't take personal responsibility for anything. Because I'm going to show you what kind of man that these guys on the net are standing next to, right? Listen, they're standing next to a man that he's in his mid-50s. Because first of all, we got to start from the very beginning. He wants us to believe that he was a target for a time cut for Demetrius Flannery. Now, Demetrius Flannery, this is a dope boy. Man, this is a nigga from D-Mecca that nobody ever seen the likes of him and Terry ever. It's like it should never happen in American history. He had a $700 million illegal drug dealing ring that it touched all 50 states. It touched, heavens knows how many cities. Like nobody never seen no shit like that.
And they said at one point in time, BMF had over 25,000 known associates across the country. That's actually a lot. That's a lot.
Like half of the drug empire, $350 million on his side. I mean, they said the man had like, I can't remember, like 15, 20 homes. They all $2 million or better. A bunch of $1 million homes was mixed into that. He had 30, 40 luxury cars that they had to confiscate. Like, okay, he's like a kingpin. Well, he's not like a kingpin. Demetrius is like, he's a kingpin. He's at the very top of the totem pole. And I feel as though that Dollar Bill, he misrepresented what a third party co-op is to the village, because he made it look like a person at that level, at that top tier level, he can tell on a nigga that's washed. Because at this time, Cuff is already washed. At this point of the game, right? Dollar Bill is 47 years old. When they catch dude, because they were kind of representing him at first like he was a kingpin too. So we were thinking, okay, it makes sense. It was a kingpin for kingpin. We can see one kingpin, Demetrius, telling on another kingpin from St. Louis, and then he can get a time cut. Okay, that does make sense. But then when we read the work, we seen what Missouri had posted, what they caught Dollar Bill with, we was like, nah, that's not.
Stop the cap.
Nah, my nigga, that don't happen. You know what I'm saying? When we seen dude get caught with 6 kilos, not 66, not 606, not 6,006. I mean, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ding. He's like, nigga got caught with 6 kilos, but he's 47, bro.
Hey, see, that's what I've been saying. It makes absolutely no sense for the DEA to stop investigating Suarez, as Cuffy put it, and switch and go for him. That makes absolutely no sense. Cuffy was a low-level dealer. apparently. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but going off of what he's saying, he was a lower level dealer than Meech. Now, I know I heard some people bring up the whole Rayful Edmonds thing. Oh, yeah, he told on a whole bunch of people lower than him and got a time cut. He told on a whole bunch of people lower than him and got a time cut. Well, it was like 100 people? Come on. There's not 100 people saying that Meech told on them. You got one. One. And the fact that that one is cool with the known rat from BMF and Blue Da Vinci, come on, man, that makes it suspect. And he actually went on an interview and said that he didn't have no ill feelings towards Tammy, but for some reason he got some ill feelings towards Meech. That makes absolutely no sense to me, because if it's me and I feel like this woman got up on the stand and the police got hot on me because of this woman, I'm gonna be hot at that woman too. Very hot. But he says that he's not. That's what I'm saying. It makes no sense. This sounds like it was a play. This was a play from the beginning, if you ask me, from Blue Da Vinci, Tammy, and probably Cuffy too. Because Cuffy did admit that he's the one that told Tammy she needed to have Meech's life rights in order for them to get a movie deal. When he met Tammy, she didn't have Meech's life rights. Words out of his own mouth.
Like, he's like, nigga, who's buying this story now? Like, he's 47 years old. And it was 4 other niggas on that case.
Stop the cap.
Look, let me tell you something. We just having a conversation. We just talking, because it's all entertainment at this point. Unfortunately, it's real life. But it's like, they got it on the net. So, okay, this is what it is at this point. What kind of nigga would, just think about it, right? What kind of nigga, and we talking about Dollar Bill, he took a dope fiend on the jug with him. Because we reading everybody's paperwork now. Let me say it this way. We're reading the paperwork that is not sealed.
The United States of America versus Timothy Lamont Rush. Rush was unemployed, used heroin on a weekly basis, and had an extensive criminal history dating back to 1982 that included 2 prior federal drug convictions. Rush's personal history and characteristics such as lack of employment, extensive and serious criminal history, repeatedly poor performance while under court supervision, ongoing, chronic, and long-term history of substance abuse, and evidence that he was under supervision at the time of the instant arrest.
It's in the paperwork. He was on that boy. He was hitting that boy twice a week.
Man.
So he was already fiend out. I can't see a man that strategically got his shit together. We talking Dollar Bill, and he gonna make a jug. He gonna make a play with a dope fiend.
Didn't know you like to get wet though. What's wet? Butt naked. Ill. Turn.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Dust.
Hold on. Time out. What did I say? Right down here at the bottom. Background information on conspiratorial members. Demetrius Flannery, incarcerated in 2004, 2005. DEA Atlanta, in conjunction with DEA Detroit, conducted and it cuts off. But this is in Cuffy's paperwork, because you see Gatling stamped on it. Background information on conspiratorial members. Demetrius Flannery. I tried to tell y'all. I showed y'all the paperwork. Demetrius, actually, I don't even, what the fuck am I calling him Demetrius? Big Meech was going to get indicted again. Let's clear that. Let's hear that. Say that again part for some of the people in the back that keep saying, well, no, Meech was indicted in 2005, not 2013. Like, are you hearing what I'm saying? He was going to be indicted again in 2013 with Cuffy. Do some of y'all understand that? I mean, I know a lot of y'all do understand that. There's people out there you got to kind of hold their hand and walk them along into it, though. Do you see what I'm saying? If he was on this paperwork, he was going to get indicted with Cuffy. That means he was not cooperating and setting Cuffy up.
Shit together. We talking dollar bill, and he gonna make a jug. He gonna make a play with the dope fiend.
Didn't know you like to get wet though.
What's wet?
Butt naked. Ill.
Churn. Dust. PCP. Primos. P-Dog. That's what you had?
That's what you had.
That's in the paperwork, beloved. See, he's telling one story. This is the problem we having with Dollar Bill. He's telling a story now. He's sensationalizing and all that shit. But when you read the documents, it's a totally different story than the one that the man is telling.
Exactly.
Now, many of us that can really read, we just see, we're not going to let him frame it for us. Now, what kind of sophisticated guy running this shit from St. Louis, who would put, because listen, we understand that, you know, this is one of the challenges that we have in our village, that people are dealing with substance abuse issues. We get it. But we're not going to take this kind of nigga on to play with us, though. He's not going to make it. Quick thinking, fast moving, cleanliness, internal, external, right down to the modern times. He can't go. Cuff say he can go. Look, let's look at the decision making at the kingpin of St. Louis. Blue is telling the story, and Blue is kind of like, he don't want to say the old head is shooting bad, but he says it without saying it, because he's saying, when, you know, when Cuff used to come to the city, beloved, I just had to let the dude borrow the car so he can.
Speaking of Blue, where he been at? He been awfully quiet lately, don't y'all think?
Look good around Atlanta. What, nigga? Look good around. Where's his car? He's the kingpin out of St. Louis. Cause this is the guy that he said Demetrius and Tammy made him a target to the nigga that's borrowing. He's going from this city to borrow the car, and then Cuff tried to clarify the borrow the car story, because we're all thinking Atlanta, because we seen Blue on the video with his 2013 Bentley. He's in Atlanta with this Bentley, right? Cuff telling another story about he's bought a little car from Blue in LA too. So I'm like, well, wait a minute, bro. You mean to tell me this guy is running around the country, he's borrowing cars, he's making jugs with fiends, he does this, that it shows, in my estimate, a sign of desperation. Blue is going to finish telling the story. So Blue is like, I didn't know that Cuff is running around with Tammy. This is Blue talking, right? Okay. So Dollar Bill comes back.
Now, keep in mind, at this time where he's borrowing Blue Da Vinci's Blue Bentley, Blue Da Vinci had already been to prison, served his time, not to mention cooperated with the feds and is still actively working with the feds at this point in time. Who's to say that that car wasn't wired up? Why he out going, making bops and trying to talk to connects in the car.
He's going to clarify the story. He said, yeah, I used to pick up the car from Little Blue.
Oh,
Let's go to Little Blue.
From old Blue.
Pick up the car from Little Blue. And before then, he said, I was riding. He said, Demetrius sent another Mexican at me, but he rubbed me wrong because he was asking about the car. And he said, Dollar Bill, do you own that car, Dollar Bill? Who car is that, Bill? And he rubbed me the wrong way. Now let's pause. Let's pause, right? Let's think about that shit, though. All right, so you mean to tell me, man,
hell, that other plug probably knew that car was wired up and probably seen it before. Like, you know what? I know somebody who was in that same car or around that same car with a guy named Barima McKnight that just got busted. Do you own that car?
You come to the city, my nigga open up the doors for you, and instead of you just taking the vehicle and going and to make a play for Meech on a movie kind of like deal, you're running around in Blue car talking to niggas about other plays in the man car. I know that Bentley got to be.
Hey, if the car wasn't hot before that, it's definitely hot after Cuffy got it, right?
It's a firecracker now, because he said that the dude ended up being another CS. But why is in my mind, I'm saying, why are you trying to throw the fat on Meech? But we get it. Because nigga, every time you talk, ain't nothing about no personal responsibility coming out of your mouth. But you're trying to show how Meech did something foul by throwing a Mexican at you. But in my mind, I'm listening to the situation like, why are you making a play and the nigga, if the dude let you borrow the car just to go talk to some people about a movie, just take the car and look good and go talk to the shit about a movie. No, he's going to make a detour and he's going to talk to niggas about some other shit and then come back and bring you your car back. That's like me, beloved. That's like me. You know what I'm saying? That's like me. I'm in Deep Mecca and I got a good relationship with a lot of cats from 7 Mile. You understand? Like, it's just what it is. So I go to my partners on St. Mary's or Prevost or Winthrop somewhere, you know. I got a nigga on Oakfield. So I just go to one of my niggas' cribs over there, right? And I just pull up on him. Hey, man, let me borrow the car. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna go down and talk to these people about a Tubi movie. And he say, bet, right? So I get in my nigga car from 7 Mile. And then I block and I pick up one of the niggas' old bitch that he's fucked with back in the day. He don't know. I just do it. And then once I pick up his old bitch, I shoot over to Schoolcraft. Cause I finna talk to a nigga about another play. But I'm in my man's car. The nigga I'm fucking with is a government informant. You know what I'm saying? He work with the people. But he quote unquote rubbed me the wrong way. So after I run around, do this little business I got, I take dude his car back. What kind of man would you say that I am now? This is the dude that Dawg Face put on his platform. Man, I don't put niggas like that on my platform. The minute dude told me that, I'd have scrapped the interview, man. I'd have hit the delete button. Nah, I ain't putting this one out. There's some cutthroat nigga shit right here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want niggas to think I fuck with niggas like this. I don't want niggas to think I'm endorsing this kind of nigga. I don't stand close to niggas that do shit like that.
Facts.
I wonder how Dawg Face would take that. I wonder. You understand? He got a panel of niggas up there. I want to see how he would take it if one of his partners picked up his car to go make a play. He gonna get down for a Tubi movie, but the nigga, he pick up one of his old bitches. He riding around. This nigga all on Dexter. Nigga all on Linwood. Talking to niggas about another kind of play. He did bring you your shit back. Like, here you go. Hey man, you know the feds probably got Blue's license plate behind that shit now, right? You know that, right? You could have got your man. You first of all, you picking up a chick. She's a government informant off top. You don't know if she put bugs in
Not to mention he borrowing a car from a government informant as well.
the car, tracking devices on the car. You don't really fucking know what she did. But just this careless, he's making verbally, the point I'm trying to make. He's verbally telling a story about he's making this careless decision after this careless decision. But when he talks, he doesn't take any personal responsibility. It's somebody else's fault. See, I'm from a city where if you're going to get in that kind of activity, the first rule in that whole game is you don't fuck with no nigga in jail. He's hot.
Facts.
Nigga
Big
in the
fact.
pen, he's hot. Where would you go to who's getting any information from a nigga from the pen? Who? I don't know nobody that's doing no silly shit like that. If I really kept it funky with you though, we're kind of raised how to, we're taught how to do illegal activity, and we're taught that you don't fuck with a nigga in jail, and even when a nigga come home, he's still hot. You don't fuck with him. Cuff is the only guy that can play this super street guy that, Dollar Bill is doing this and he's a kingpin, but he's dealing with niggas.
Hey, remember on Paid in Full where dude came home? What was his name? Calvin or some shit? Where he came home and Ace didn't want to mess with him at first. He told him, hey, just chill out, lay low, make a little bit of money because you just came home. You still hot. Remember that? I've seen dudes do that in real life. To their own homeboys, to their own brothers. Yeah, nah, just chill out. You hot right now. Chill out, give it a few months, lay low. Get used to being back home, whatever. We slowly work you in. Get you paid again. Don't worry, we got you. We got you faded. We got you taken care of in the meantime.
In the can that's already hot. Meech is already hot. He's in the joint. But you gonna get a plug from this nigga? Okay, so my question is, but you was in the game for 30 years already up to this point. Where's your independent connections that you made on your own? But you know why I see you don't have any? Because I see through the witness statement of Tammy how you and Fidel relationship went. You just ran off on Buddy with the shit.
Right.
So you had to double back, come back around, which put in a weird kind of way, because we're not looking at the backdrop of this. Let's say this all happened for real, like Cuff said it's happened. And let's say it happened like Tammy said it happened. Meech put you into play with a guy from Cali, and then you jump up and you run off on that nigga. But if we going along with your story, let's say Fidel is the cartel nigga that you said he is. What kind of fire did you put Meech and Tammy in right then and there? Because they don't know this nigga. They don't know Dollar Bill. They put you in play with him. If the story happened like you said it happened, you didn't think that Meech, because he had to be camped out. There was a time that Meech was camped out in California. You don't think that would have put Dawg in some kind of fire with you doing that deal with homie like that? He's locked up.
Man, think about that. You run off with 100 keys. Leave your middle person, your middleman or middle person in this case, and your homeboy on the hook for that with the Mexican cartel. And now you complaining. This is the story you told. You put it this way. Actually, no, I'm sorry, you didn't. This is what came out in the paper. This is what you actually did. You ran off on a Mexican cartel plug, which means you ran off on the Mexican cartel and left Meech and Tammy, allegedly, on the hook for that. Originally, before any before she put the DA on you, allegedly, or whatever the case is. And now you're complaining because Meech didn't help you? Makes no sense.
You know how many essays is in the pen? You know how that could have got Tammy jammed up? Even before you knew she was an informant, it could have got Shorty jammed up.
Mm-hmm.
He don't give a fuck.
And she got kids.
That's what.
So does Big Meech.
But so it just, to me, it looks like this is what really happened. It looks like Meech could have facilitated some shit.
Hell, Cuffy, for that fact, you got kids. You could have put your own kids in the line of fire because of that. With the Mexican cartel.
On the wall, because this nigga's a trafficker. This is like kind of like what he do.
Don't nobody stop and think about that shit. Don't nobody stop and think about that. You putting innocent people in harm's way. Innocent children. With some people that don't play that stuff. And don't care.
So he's a trafficker. He did put you in play with a nigga. And you did indeed run off on the nigga. But look, they didn't wiretap your shit till August. So by the time you get on the hot streak, Meech and Fidel is already, ain't none of them really fucking with you like that no more. So you do come back around and you call Tammy. We know you a backdoor nigga because you backdoor blue. So you backdoor Meech and you finna work through Tammy. And Tammy, like she said in her witness statement, she threw you off to CS2. CS2, it looks like she put you with Louise.
It's been alleged that CS2 is another famous woman, famous-ish. She works behind the scenes mainly for a big record company in New York. She's like the CEO of it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Don't copyright. Don't hit me with no kind of harassment thing. No copyright thing. That's all I'm saying. Y'all come to your own conclusions about who that is. They're saying that people are speculating that's who that was.
But you didn't know that was Louise. You didn't know that was Louise that worked with DEA. You thought it was Martinez. He showed up to you like his name was Martinez and he was a dope boy nigga too. And then he set you up with a sham sting. That's what we see in Lorenzo Gibbs' paperwork. It was a sham sting after that. And you know what you did? You jumped back up and you pointed the finger back at Meech. Then you sent some paperwork at Meech. So you and your lawyer sent some paperwork so he can just, nigga, ain't no nigga on a 30-year stretch finna jump up and say shit about he was in some drugs. These nigga ain't got nothing to say about that. So what we heard was Demetrius on a phone call with 42 Dawg and he's on the phone call with another cat from St. Louis, Dollar Bill Jr. And Dollar Bill Jr., Meech says before he hangs up the phone, he says, "Hey man, if you got the paperwork, you should be able to read between the lines." What is Meech saying when he say that? Damn nigga, you should be able to read between the lines. What happened with that? I ain't got nothing to say, nigga. Y'all nigga better learn how to read and figure it out.
What he's saying is, it's telling you right there in the paperwork what happened and what didn't happen. It's literally telling you that right in the paperwork.
All right. Wait, Meech, you need to get up and say this and say this. Hey, this nigga still in jail. How come niggas think, how all of a sudden niggas think house arrest, you're free? You're not, you technically, Demetrius still is he's still in jail right now, technically.
Facts.
He can't just jump up and talk about this and that and, no, he might have to go past the statute of limitation, but he just can't jump up and start talking about something. He's technically still in jail. He's just at the halfway house.
That's what I keep saying about Young Thug too. Everybody, Young Thug beat his case. Young Thug beat this. Young Thug didn't beat shit. Young Thug is technically still incarcerated for the next 15 years. One little slip up, and he's going to be incarcerated for real. He ain't beat nothing. Just like Meech right now. Meech is technically still incarcerated.
That mean, nigga, you halfway out. You ain't all the way out. You halfway out. And while you are halfway out, your man from St. Louis is dry snitching. Saying how you did this and you put this, like, I'm like, damn, these niggas won't be happy to Dawg go back to jail or something? They're trying to make sure Dawg go back to jail or something? Because I know they're not trying to save Dollar Bill. They don't even know Dollar Bill. Man, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there, you know what I mean? Because I'm just, we having a good time. Beloved, we talking. But I'm like, nigga, I ain't buying that. No. I think, no. I ain't buying no third-party co-op. Hey, look, check this out. I want to say about 5 months. It's a nigga on the East Coast, right? It's a Shine G cat. And he started talking about this situation. So, even though he recently started talking about it, I had a podcast I put up like 5 months ago. And Cuff came to the internet in my humble opinion. I feel like what he did was he misrepresented how third-party cooperation works. So what I do, right, I go and I research that first. And what I discovered is that it's federal guidelines to fucking everything. Yeah. It's federal guidelines of how you deal with a CI. It's federal guidelines of how you deal with a CS. It's federal guidelines of how, it's like they have guidelines for everything. You understand?
That's one thing about the federal government. There's always going to be a paper trail. No matter how illegal the shit is, there's always going to be a paper trail. Hell, when I was in the military, you first get the basic training. Your whole first week, that's all it is filling out papers. It may be your whole first 2 weeks. That's part of your whole career, filling out paperwork. That's what the government is about. The government is a bureaucracy, which means there's tons of paperwork.
So I also discovered it's federal guidelines about how third-party cooperation work. You understand? It's like 5 bullet points, and you have to qualify. The inmate have to qualify for certain bullet points to even because it's like a streamline effect, right? It's like you got to have an informant. The informant got to be working with a prosecutor. The prosecutor, you got to be working with an informant. The informant is going to go through an agent. The agent is going to go through the prosecutor. The prosecutor is going to take it to the judge. And then the judge can call you back and take shit off your sentence. Right? That's how it works. You understand? It's like a streamline kind of deal. You dig? So I'm looking at it's like 5 bullet points. And I'm looking at the bullet points that it take for an inmate to qualify for this reduction in sentencing. And Meech, because he's like a king, he don't qualify for that. You understand? Like he's like and not to use like the chairman's name in vain, right? But if I was to say like Larry Hoover, you understand? The way that Dollar Bill kind of framed it is that a person like, you know, a nigga can snitch on Whack 100, right? And then go to a prosecutor and say, I want to get the chairman's, Larry Hoover's time cut. And he kind of framed it like it worked like that. But it doesn't work that way, because Larry Hoover and like brothers like Malachi Z. York and others, they're like a top tier. It's a tier kind of deal. And it's like a sentencing tier where these kind of guys, you can't use that for these kind of guys to get a time reduction. I mean, I can imagine, I mean, a prosecutor and a judge could do anything, but not like not guys like that. Not guys like Meech and Terry and Hoover, and not those kind of guys. You know,
I would imagine it would have to be somebody above them, because the feds are always trying to move up the ladder. If not somebody above them, if it's got to be people below them, it's got to be damn near a whole organization. You get what I'm saying? Just like the whole Rayful Edmonds thing, the whole Nicky Barnes thing, the whole Frank Lucas thing. They all took down whole other organizations. In Nicky Barnes' case, he took down his whole own organization. I think Rayful Edmonds too. I could be wrong on that one.
Like Preem and all these guys, you can't. That's like high tier kind of guys. That third party co-op, what Cuff is really explaining is, it's some shit that happened with guys that have like, you know, 15, 10-year bids, 5 years. That's something like they do that for like them. They don't do that for the big guys, right? Pause. So when I discovered that first, I sent the joint to Sean G. So, you know what I mean? He can see that, well, homie don't even qualify for the third party co-op because he doesn't meet the bullet points that requires that. And then there's another thing. They have like a side note when you start researching third party co-op. It's like a money play that they don't allow. You dig? It's like if you got like an informant and he or she is gonna, you know, work with a.
Hold on, real quick, because I know there's going to be people in the comment section that are going to say, well, it was in the paperwork that Tammy asked Cromer to get Meech's time reduced, and he said okay. Yeah, he said okay. That doesn't mean the deal was approved. He doesn't approve it. Cromer can't approve it. The U.S. attorneys have to approve it, which means the U.S. government has to approve it. Now, he can tell her that. He could tell her up front. We could see what we could do about that, because I'm pretty sure those are the words that were used. We'll see what we could do about that. Not, we're going to go ahead and get Demetrius Flannery a time cut.
Agent, if you start getting paid, it won't work no more. The judge is not going to qualify, because it's like you got to take one or the other kind of like deal. If you're doing this to do the time cut, then you can't take the money. But if you take the money, you know what I'm saying, you can't do the time cut. I don't know if I said it back, but I'll say it again. If you're taking money, and Tammy was taking money, she disqualifies any type of third party cooperation anyway. Because when they go before,
oh, what he's saying is you can't have both. You have to take one or the other. Okay.
For the judge to say, well, she's getting her pay. She can't get the money and get a nigga out. She can't get both things. If she was just saying, I'm doing this shit to get homie out, then they'd probably allow it. But not for Meech anyway, though. So it's like, he's like 0 for 2 when it comes to like the qualifications of that third party cooperation shit. He's like a top tier guy. But listen, in any event though, just go along. Let's just play along with the story. If we just, everything Cuff said is real. Everything Dollar Bill said is real. But just think about it in your own mind. Do you fucking really think that a dude, because this is documented, Demetrius was running 2,500 kilos a month through his Atlanta hub. We're not talking Houston. We're not talking about Birmingham.
Just Atlanta
and
alone.
Montgomery and Miami. We're not talking about what he was doing in New York City. God bless the dead, because we know that, you know, word on the street, we know that Jam Master Jay got caught up in some BMF beef. We're not talking about New York City. We're not talking about what he ran through LA. We're not talking about what he ran through St. Louis or Detroit. Atlanta hub alone, he was running 2,500 keys a month through Atlanta, right? All right. If my math is right, we know that it's 4 weeks in a month. You know what I'm saying? So that means homie was doing like 600 some keys a week, bro. 600 keys. And then you get a nigga online that got caught with six keys. And he wants the general public to believe that the guy that was moving 600 keys plus a week could tell on him in St. Louis and get a time cut. I mean, what kind of time cut they were gonna give me? Taking a nigga 3 months off? Nigga got caught with 6 keys. What kind of time cut they gonna give? I mean, just enlighten us, Dollar Bill. What kind of time cut was me looking at? 5.5 months. Then they got a 30-year bid. Hey man, you turned in Dawg Gatling, man. You did some outstanding work. The judge get up there, yeah. We're gonna give him a sentencing reduction of what? We're gonna take 6 months off.
And I know it's gonna be some people saying, well, 5 months off is 5 months off. Da 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 da. Well, in 2000, when this went down in 2013, even in 2018, and you're still looking at years before you're getting out. 5 months ain't shit. You trying to get a lot more than 5 months cut off. You get what I'm saying? Especially if this is the only person that you got to give up. You trying to get as much time as possible. You ain't trying to get no 5 month time cut.
Yeah, nobody's stupid enough to believe that. Just like me sitting in the barbershop with Vernon Maxwell, because he's a basketball player from my era. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 70s baby. So I'm sitting in the goddamn barbershop with Vernon Maxwell, and Vernon started telling the story about how Chicago Bulls was trying to trade Jordan for him. And we sit up in there, we like, Vernon, we like you, my nigga. Vernon, you on a lot of these podcasts, boy, you entertaining. But my nigga, the minute you said that Chicago Bulls organization was going to trade Mike for you straight up, nigga, we knew it was a lie. Stop lying, my nigga.
You guys, that was the Real Black Consciousness Forum podcast. Make sure you guys go over and check out his channel. I will have a link to it down in the description, as always. And what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this whole thing? I mean, was he right? Or are a lot of these other channels that are pushing this other narrative, are they illiterate? Or are they just pushing or do they have an ulterior motive, do you think? Which do y'all think it is? Because we can all look at the paperwork ourselves and we can come to the conclusion that, okay, there is nothing in the paperwork that lines up with Cuffy's story. First off. Second, Meech never got a time cut, though the drug part of the case got thrown out. Now they're moving the goalpost. They're saying, well, if it wasn't for that and the wiretaps with Cuffy and Tammy and everything, they would have never wiretapped Cuffy's phone or whatever, and he wouldn't be in jail right now. Even though before Cuffy started doing any illegal stuff with Tammy, he was already in there under investigation. Because didn't they say the first federal informant that he's allegedly off, didn't that happen in like 2009, 2010? Which means he was under investigation prior to that by the FBI, right? You following me here? So, if we're going by that logic, Meech still could have gotten a time cut because Cuffy still got locked up directly because of Tammy and Meech. Am I right or wrong? If that's the true narrative, if that's what truly happened, Meech still would have got a time cut. I don't know. If you're new to the channel and you made it this far, Make sure you guys go down and hit that subscribe button, you guys. We are over 5,000 subscribers, quickly on our way to 6,000. Our goal was 10,000. We are over halfway there. Let's keep it rolling. Let's hit that 10,000 mark. I am very proud of you guys. Thank you guys very much for hitting that subscribe button and hitting that like button. Matter of fact, I'm gonna need you guys to keep hitting that like button for me, because that helps these videos get into the YouTube algorithm. And when the videos get into the YouTube algorithm, YouTube shows them to more people and we get more views on the video, which helps the channel. It's all free for you guys to do. And speaking of free, you guys can go ahead and drop me a quick comment or two down in the comment section, which also helps the video, you guys. But you know what ain't free? Hitting BurbankClothing.com for one of these fresh ass trucker hats. Go ahead and go over to BurbankClothing.com. Check these trucker hats out. I don't even care if you guys don't buy anything. Go over there, browse around, take a look around the website. Let me know how you guys like the website. Is the speed good? Everything. We just had it redone. It's in this testing phase right now. So you guys go over there, check that out. If you guys come back with any errors or any hiccups or whatever thing or anything, come back to any of the videos and let me know about it. I'll get it taken care of, all right? I appreciate you guys in advance. It's your boy King Charm. I'm out this bitch. Let's go.